Expectations. We have talked about policies, we have talked about assessments, and we have also talked about teacher training. After all this is in place, now we are going to look at what are the expectations that are associated with a teacher. When we get a qualified and trained teacher, what do we expect out of that teacher who has full knowledge of the subject and is properly trained and qualified to be entering a school and working in it? What is the teacher's profile in that case where expectations are there in place? Exceptional teaching. Because generally speaking, teaching is taking place all the time in the life of individuals. As a child, when the child is born, he starts learning immediately. He starts learning how to move his hands, how to move his arms, how to move his feet. He starts recognizing his body parts. He starts recognizing the person who feeds him. So the learning process and the teaching process starts from the first day of the birth of an individual. What is expected of a teacher is exceptional teaching. The regular teaching is actually taking place naturally in a human being's life. What is the teacher there to reinforce? The teacher is there to reinforce exceptional methods of teaching and learning so that the building up of the character and the growth of the personality becomes possible because of this exceptional teaching. What does this exceptional teaching look like? Common definitions of outstanding teaching refer to the following: how your teaching promotes learning and progress, the way you use assessment, the impact of your work and the work of your department on students' social, moral, spiritual, and cultural development. That means the first part is how you are making the learning possible. A teacher is not successful if she is teaching but nobody is learning, or some are learning, some are not learning. That means that is not real teaching. How are you using the methods to assess your students? How are you using the policy of assessment for learning and assessment of learning? How much are these policies effective in your classroom? The impact of your work and the work of your department on students' personality, social behavior, moral behavior, spiritual and cultural development. So that means, as an exceptional teaching procedure, the student is going to be covered and protected in all areas of his life, whether they are social, spiritual, moral, or cultural. This development in his personality must take place because of the teaching that is taking place. And how much are you promoting your teaching to be the learning process for the student? An example is that when we put our money in the bank, we invest our money. We want it to be protected. The bank's responsibility is to take care of that money. And when we need it, the bank should return our money honestly and in a safe manner. This is the example of exceptional teaching and what is expected out of a teacher. The student goes to the school to learn something more, something exceptional from what he is already learning at home. How has your teaching made it possible for the student to learn that. If he is coming home without any learning, that means whatever effort is being invested is not being returned. There is no profit there. There is no return there because the learning has not taken place. And the work that you need to do in order to develop the personality of the student has not taken place. Therefore, that will not be teaching or exceptional teaching.